The Chief Justice of India called the country's youth as cockroaches. 2 months later, those cockroaches had forced a minister to resign. Let me show you how.
It started in a courtroom. During a Supreme Court hearing, Chief Justice Suryakant remarked, and I am quoting, "There are youngsters like cockroaches. They don't get any employment and they don't have any place in a profession." He later clarified he meant people who fake their qualifications to sneak into jobs they never earned. Not every young Indian. But to a generation already crushed by unemployment and rigged exams, it landed like a slap. So they did something no one expected. They took the insult and wore it like a badge. Within days, a young strategist named Abhijit Dipke launched the Cockroach Janta Party, not a real political party, but a satirical youth movement. The message was simple: you called us cockroaches? Fine. Watch what cockroaches can survive. But to understand why one word could set a whole country alight, you have to look at the exam sitting at the center of their rage. NEET is a single national exam for every medical seat in India. Want to be a doctor? There is exactly one door, and this is it. One exam, one attempt a year. 24 lakh students fighting for roughly 1 lakh MBBS seats. Years of coaching, your parents' savings, your entire 20s, all riding on one morning. It's supposed to be the fairest test in the country. Pure merit, no connections, no shortcuts. That promise is exactly what makes a leak so brutal. Because when the paper leaks, the honest kid doesn't just lose, the honest kid pays for someone else cheating. So here's what happened. Days after the exam, a guest paper surfaced in coaching circles in Sikar, Rajasthan, and up to 120 of its questions matched the real paper, almost all in chemistry and biology. At first, the agency called it rumors. Then, on the 12th of May, they cancelled the exam for all 24 lakh students, and the CBI took over. And the worst part? The trail didn't start with some outside gang. One of the men arrested was a chemistry lecturer who worked as a question paper translator for the exam body itself. The breach came from inside the machine that's supposed to protect it. And here's the pattern nobody wants you to see, because this isn't one state and it isn't one year. 2015, Haryana. Students in Bluetooth vests fed answers mid exam. The Supreme Court scrapped the whole thing. 6 lakh had to retake it. 2016, Bihar and Delhi. Papers sold in advance. 2021, Rajasthan. Answers over WhatsApp. 2024, papers stolen from a locked trunk in Jharkhand. Memorized in Patna. 67 students scored a perfect 720. In 2026, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Bihar, Gujarat all wired together. Look at the map. This isn't a glitch in one corner of India. This is country's most important exam breaking again and again from coast to coast. And behind every one of those years is a kid who did everything right, who woke up at 5, who gave up every festival, every weekend for 2 years, who walked into that hall believing hard work was enough and walked out to find the game was rigged before they'd even sat down. When the 2026 exam collapsed, reports linked at least a dozen young aspirants to suicide, figures still being verified, and every one a family that will never be whole again. This is the real cost of leaked paper, not a headline, a life. And that grief turned into rage, and the rage hit the streets. From the 6th of June, they gathered at Jantar Mantar in Delhi, the country's oldest protest ground. Student unions poured in. Then, on the 28th of June, one of the India's most respected activists, Sonam Wangchuk, sat down and stopped eating. He didn't eat for 26 days. He lost 9 kilos and ended his strike only when the government promised to drop the cases against peaceful protesters and to compensate the families of the students who had died. Day after day, one demand rang louder than the rest. The education minister must go. And on the 25th of July, he did. Dharmendra Pradhan resigned, telling India's youth he was taking moral responsibility in his place. The education ministry has gone to Prahlad Joshi, who's taken it on as additional charge on top of his existing portfolio, and he inherits one promise above all: move India's exam fully online by 2027. The cockroaches, it turned out, could move a government. So here we are, a leaked exam, an insult from the highest court, a satirical party named after a bug, a hunger strike, and a minister gone. Some of it worked. The exam was rerun clean in just 10 weeks, and women were 58% of everyone who passed. The Supreme Court is watching, the rules are changing, but the deeper question hasn't gone anywhere. Is this a system so broken it takes a national uprising just to make it do its job? Or a democracy, messy, loud, alive, actually correcting itself in front of the world? 24 lakh dreams are still riding on the answer. Tell me in the comments. After everything you've just seen, do you still trust the system? Rise or ruin? You decide. Please subscribe.